Few families in American history have such a storied past as the Doyle dynasty. In this rare, exclusive interview, the remaining last of the breed have gathered to share their legacy. There are two tales for which the Doyle dynasty is famous. The first is of the gang of Doyles that roamed Folsom, California, causing mischief and wreaking havoc. The next tale is the tale of Colin Goodrich, who founded ColinStarspoop.com and rose to prominence with that as his legacy. Now sit back and relax as this television event brings you this tale of the Doyles.
Oh, okay. The Rugrats that roam the streets of Folsom. We go back to 1890, turn of the century. Yeah, a couple of them were really, really wild bandits. One of them, he didn't have any teeth. You know, back then they weren't very good about, you know, the whole dental hygiene and everything. And
did you eat a lot of taffy?
Yeah, from the Folsom candy store over here. In fact, they used to rob that store. They would go in there and just fill their pockets with candy and taffy and stuff it in their mouth.
They took a gun to the man serving out the ice cream's head, and they said, "Give us all your ice cream or you're dead." So the man gave us all the ice cream. They took a while and they built up this big sign saying free ice cream. They gave out ice cream to everybody.
The Hard Knocks at it again, messing with the town, just ruckusing.
And the funny thing was, they didn't steal from the ice cream shop. They just came in there and they gave away ice cream.
They made cakes all the time and they gave them out for free.
And to like the lowly people at the bottom of the line, they'd give out like rainbow sherbet and like pumpkin pie, because there was pie there.
And they weren't caught, but they felt so damn guilty that they turned themselves into the police department, and then they got a record. They were put away for like a weekend in like Folsom prison, and they were only in their teens. It was kind of sad, but they had turned themselves in, even though they were guilty as hell.
Rumor has it was old Scurvy McGee was the founder of this bunch.
There was Herman and Lester and Scott.
Like Alfonso.
Something like Alfonso.
Yeah.
Alfonso the flying ferret, actually.
Really? Yeah, which was his, nickname.
So you couldn't find out if they were a boy or girl.
And they seemed just like the modern day, in the past, Robin Hoods, pretty much. And I don't know if Smokey Jones was Little John or Scurvy was the lady, but it was like the gang of Robin Hood. Yeah, it was like Robin Hood's little men on little bicycles.
They thought they were the best, and they were to ride to Sacramento's largest building, but they didn't plan their trip well enough. They forgot about the hill.
So this day that they came upon this hill,
Yeah.
and I heard that they were on skateboards and scooters, and
Oh yeah.
they couldn't make it. There was cracks everywhere that they were tripping up on.
Well, you remember too. I mean, they were skating with rock and steel wheel. You know, so we got to cut them some slack. But you know, they were lame. They were lame. They couldn't even go up a hill. I mean, come on. You know, pretty much had to hitchhike up the hill, and with the teeth and the toes, no one would stop.
Yes, it must have been around 70 degrees. It was burning up. And there must have been at least 1 or 2 cracks in the hill on the side. It was hard.
I remember that one crack that just took out little John. He was going and then crack, and like off he went. And there's no turning back when you're on an incline that's over 3 or 4 degrees, you know?
Yeah, about 90.
About 90?
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So that's straight up. We heard it was only maybe like 2 or 3
Those
degrees.
are lies.
Well, the one guy who made it was Ebenonius Doyle, named Ebony for short, and Ebonus for kind of a little bit longer. But I like to just call him Eb, as in to slowly move away.
They lived off of Jamba Juice and Twinkies. Yeah, and an occasional other Hostess product, because that was the other thing that they developed too, was the whole line of Hostess products.
But what people really don't know is that there was another person in the shadows, creeping.
Why didn't he just step out into the daylight and walk up it?
He was albino.
There was one turn. They had to turn left.
From what I've heard about the story, there's mosquitoes biting them. There was like really loud bird chirping, and they were getting all disoriented. And like during the night, it got really cold, and they all had to share one sleeping bag, but they didn't want to. So I think 3 or 4 of them went down that night just because they didn't want to sleep in one bag together.
They weren't in shape.
Colin Goodrich, you know, when you talk about the true, pure sense of entrepreneurship, you have to mention the name Colin Goodrich.
Alright, hold on a second, Jimmy. Alright, Serge, give me the Russian beluga instead of the salmon caviar. Alright, thanks, hon. Oh yeah, what's up, man?
Colin, he had the brilliant idea, I'm going to sell crap, but it's going to be golden, it'll be bronze. And so he did his mail order. And the funny thing was the containers, you know, most packages are square or, you know, like flat padded envelopes. His were these like sausage-shaped packages. And some of them they were kind of shaped kind of like that. And one was even like that.
Did you ever get the codes?
The swirlies? No, they didn't have those back then.
And Colin had this bright idea of taking what celebrities don't need anymore and solidifying it.
It's a tricky system. You have to have you have to clamp, you cut a pipe, but you seal it off of both ends and you clamp them. And then there's the space between the clamps. And he put in a special glass fitting pipe. And you could see through it actually. And the surprising part was the color of the poop. What color would you think? You know, you think it'd be brown or off-white or, you know, orange or something. It was blue. But it turned out because the pipe was blue. You were looking through blue.
He was this unbelievable idea of tunneling under the stars' homes. He started off with Wilbert, you know, little Wilbert.
Wilbert who?
That Wilbert, the little guy.
Yes, he did. And he got some big celebrities. Oh, hello. I mean, there was like David Duchovny.
Big stars, big stars. Cher.
You know, Grandma Joyce and Papa Katie and Mimi Johns and so forth.
$1.5 million just for one load of Cher's poop.
When I saw my first Colin Starr's poop, like, when I saw it, it was like a wave, a shock wave of just, like, it was kind of far away and there was people in the way, but I mean, I saw it through a crack in the crowd and like, oh. I don't think I can really talk about it, but it's just like, you know.
You kept the poop out of the ocean, put it into the mainstream. What was that about?
You've just dug something out of the sewer and held it up to the light and just let it shine. You feel like you're almost God, that you can bring something out of the ground and bronze it and then set it on the mantelpiece.
Yeah, they did develop a poop memorial to memorialize the family, and they helped the economy so much in San Francisco after all. Anyway, they made Coit Tower. They were going to have Coit Tower kind of going like that, but it was too expensive, so they just had it